Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your host Jerome Hall here. You feel me? Out here with the Sumter podcast. Today we're filming in Lake-Sumter in the digital media, video, and sound class. Thank you to our professor, Professor Andrew, for providing resources we need to make this little interview with one of our friends. If we look over here, we got my boy, the heartbreaker, the bone breaker himself, dirt bike legend, Ethan Lane. How you doing, bro?
Doing good. Thank you for having me on the podcast. Really appreciate it.
Of course, bro. Right over there, real quick. I gotta mention my boy Julio out there for sound and tech.
What's up, guys? I watching you, everybody.
All right, thank you. All right, bro. So let's get into these questions real quick. How you been, bro?
I've been doing good. I just finished my racing season last weekend, actually. So we're going into off season for that one championship I was doing. So we're gonna switch some things up, going to a different championship now, looking at some options and seeing what we're gonna be doing.
Okay, that's what's up. Now tell me, like, when did you start dirt biking? Because I know you're from Spain originally, right?
Yeah. So I was born in England and then moved to Spain when I was 6, 7, a young age, and just my parents got a job out there, so we moved out there for that. And then I started riding when I was about 4. On a dirt bike, I started riding quads when I was about 2, 3 with my dad. My dad used to ride, so that's how I got into it, and he had a dirt bike shop. So I was riding an actual dirt bike when I was about 4, and then kind of just doing it for fun for a while. And then when I was about 10, 11, then started picking things up, started taking a little bit more serious, and then just was racing amateurs for a while. Then got my pro license when I was 16, and then just been racing pros ever since.
Wow, dang. Okay, so basically, this has been your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much it's the only thing I've known since I can remember. It's a routine that you get into. You wake up, you go do gym, then you go to the track, and then you just repeat it pretty much every single day of the week.
Does that get tiring, like repetitive in any way?
It does it, but it doesn't because so we'll ride typically 4 or 5 days a week. So like a normal week for us would be ride Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll have off. Thursday, Friday we'll ride.
Okay.
And then Saturday or Sunday we'll have a day off, one of the two. So it gets repetitive and it doesn't get boring because we might be riding the same track or we might be riding a dirt bike at the end of the day, but we can do so many different things on a day-to-day basis that it's not repetitive or actually luckily doesn't get boring.
Wow, okay. That's very lucky for you because, most careers, especially in sports, most people burn themselves out doing the same thing over and over again per week. But seems like you love it, I see on your Instagram you be posting a lot. And speaking of dirt biking, I know it's a very dangerous sport. It's an extreme sport, yes?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is. There's a lot of people say their sport's a life or death situation, but dirt biking is that. I've had some people that have passed away and while racing, getting something wrong, getting a jump wrong, and that was the end of the road for them. And it really is I don't think people realize how dangerous it can be because the amount it's evolved in the past 30 years, it's incredible. Like if you compare a bike from now to the 1990s, it's insane. But if you compare the body from 1990s to now, we still have the same body, but our bikes are going triple the speed now. Like if I was talking to my mechanic the other week, like if I was racing in the 2000s and I had the speed that I did now, I would be undefeated for years. But the speeds we're going, and because all we wear is a chest protector and some knee braces and helmet and boots. So like when we hit the ground, we hit the ground. Like there's no protection around us, and that's what makes the sport so dangerous. It's like cycling. Like when they hit the ground, all they have is a tiny bib on. They don't have any padding. So like when they hit the ground hard, and that's how racing is. And I think that's the thing what people don't really realize with racing, because people just think, oh, like all you do is sit down and twist a throttle.
Yeah, exactly.
When it's not. When you really put all the thought and logic behind it, there's about 10 to 20 things you have to do correctly going in just to a turn or into a jump. And there's, say, 15, 20 turns on a track, and then there's 10, 15 jumps on the track as well. So, like, you're doing all these things every lap that you don't think about because it comes second nature. But, like, when you step back and think about it, to make that progress, you have to think about, all right, where am I sitting? Where am I gassing? Like, where am I hitting the brakes? Where's the clutch? This, and this. And it's all these things that you really don't think about that really makes motocross so complex and so dangerous, because it's like, even it's just a turn. Like I've crashed and I've broken bones in a turn. I've just by doing things wrong, and it's a very tough sport and it's very extreme. Which I think if people could realize that and realize actually what we're doing, it is very special, and it is a very fun sport if you do get it right.
Wow. I can hear the passion coming from your like voice when you talk about this stuff. Like you really love this stuff. Now you did say you broke some bones. How many are we talking and where?
So I
If
say
appropriate.
they're all appropriate. I definitely I'm passionate about it. I should have quit years ago when I first started injured, but it's when I wake up, it's the only thing I can think about. When I go to sleep, it's the only thing I can think about. And I say I call myself out. So like I have a messed up right ankle. I tore some ligaments in it. I fractured my left femur and kneecap on my left leg. I've broken and dislocated my left thumb. I've chipped my right thumb. I've broken my left collarbone. I've broken and dislocated my right collarbone and tore ligaments in that shoulder. I've compressed and fractured my spine. I've done my nose 2-3 times. I busted up my chin. Like the list goes on and on and on.
How are you still walking, gang?
I wake up with back pains, knee pains. Like, I feel 50 already. Like it's insane.
What the heck? Yo. Hold on. I heard you couldn't make a sound with your ankle. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yo, do it in the mic real quick.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Oh my god.
Yeah, and the ankle's a little messed up, to say the
what
least.
the heck? A little?
Yeah.
Bro, I can't do that again. What you talking about?
Yeah, I never got that ankle checked out. I probably should have. I just know I tore some ligaments in it.
What? Yo, this man crazy, guys. I don't know, man.
So,
He
yeah.
gonna fall apart in 5 years, Julio. I'm telling you, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna call you guys up one day. Hey, yeah, boys, you're right.
I love you.
Yeah, this is my time.
Your time, bro.
Definitely.
Now.
Thank you.
All right, well, real quick, I gotta get into the serious topic real quick. You feel me? Like
Let's hear it.
you love this sport with all your heart. I can tell.
Definitely.
All your answers have shown it, but could you legitimately see this as like your future? Like, could you see yourself going on like this for your whole job career until you retire?
I definitely can. I've done it for so long. It was my job for a very long time. The only reason I'm not doing it right now is, so last year I broke my collarbone and tore ligaments in my shoulder. And I said to my parents, like, I'm done. I'm never touching a dirt bike again. Like, I'm over it. Like, for us to make money, the top 10 guys do. So there's millions of people that try to race.
Yeah.
There's only 40 pro guys that are allowed to race every weekend. You have about 90 to 100 people that try every weekend. And only 40 of them make it into the final race. Out of those 40, probably 15 to 20 make good money. And then the top 10 of them make the millions. So like, there's people that I know that are making 2-3 million a year, base salary. Like they're making really good money. So like, I'm in the category that I'm around the 20th to 40th, and I'll be up in the top 10 to 15 sometimes. So I'm making okay money. But it's like I was saying to my dad last year, I was like, look, I'm done. When I crashed, I was like, I'm never touching a bike. I don't make enough money for this. So my dad's like, fine, we'll sell everything. We'll sell, because I was with the team last year. We'll tell them you're done, and that was it. I went and got a normal job, started working in a mechanic shop, and then I was like, all right, like I want to go to school. We'll see where it goes. And then that all started going to school, came back over here, because when I crashed last year, I was in Europe, and was going to school over here. Then my friends over here, they race still. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy a bike just for fun. Like, I don't need to do this. I've gone down this road, so we'll have it for fun, and that's it. And I say it's for fun. It's not anymore. Like I said at the start of the podcast, I just finished up a championship. I was like, we're not going to do anything. I'm just going to ride on the weekends for fun. I don't need to race anybody. I don't need to do anything. And then once I started riding more and more, I was like, all right, my speed's actually kind of there. I haven't really lost it. Like I can still run with these guys. And that led to one thing to another, and then ended up racing the whole championship series and coming away with the win actually decently. Not easily, but with a good margin between second place. And then, yeah, I would definitely see, I don't know if I'll do motocross. I might do woods racing in the trees. That might be my future in it. I'm not too sure. And maybe I'll get back to motocross and be on the tracks again. But I definitely, no matter what, know that whether I'm doing it professionally or not, I'm always going to have a bike and I'm always going to race. And then probably my kids are going to end up racing as well.
That's what's gonna pass it down generation to generation.
Got to.
Dirt biking. Yeah, but that's what's up, man. Hey, I appreciate that answer. Not as much people are passionate enough about a sport. Like you hear people say, "Yo, I'm gonna make it to the NBA. I'm gonna make it to the NFL," you know, but like they don't got that drive and passion. Like when I talk to you, like you said you were ready to give it up completely, but
Yeah.
like your love is still there, you know?
No, definitely. Like it's I I can't tell you why I love it. Like I love, I guess, the adrenaline. I like being in shape. I I guess that's really it. But then like, there's just some feeling about riding that you feel free. You can when you get a turn right, when you do a perfect race or a perfect lap, you're like that feeling of sensation of knowing that was perfect. I can never beat that, and you're just fighting to find that perfection every single time. There's no feeling like it. It's just like I'm sure people can relate that whether it's with work or their sport or they just find something easy that is just their thing. And for me, it's like I wake up thinking about it, like how can I perfect and get better each day? Like how whether it's I'm going out running, I'm like, all right, yesterday I done say it was a 30-minute run. Like, all right, well, I'll do 45 minutes today, and I'll try this technique and try and just improve each day on it. And it's just that having that passion about it, it's kind of what kind of keeps me centered. I feel like, because then I feel like I feel like we're all lost in life. Like no one really knows what they want to do. Like they have their thoughts, like but anything can change. Like we can go and get in a car right now and go home and maybe get in a car crash. You know, things are never really set in life. You just have your thoughts on when you want to do it. So I feel like with riding, it kind of keeps me centered, and I think that's why I'm so passionate about it. And knowing no matter what goes wrong, I can go back to riding, and it'll take me away from whatever's going on in actual real life for a bit, and just gives me passion and gives me that thought of I'm trying to get better each day, which I like.
That's what's up, man. Yo, I appreciate your answers, man. You've been an amazing guest so far, you know.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on here.
Yo, Julio, how much time we got left for real?
Well, it's time to go, guys.
Time to go.
Damn.
All right, we gonna have you back on here
I
probably next
appreciate you
week.
guys having me on.
Of course, bro. We appreciate the energy you bring. You know, you help this podcast out a lot. And, you know, you the homie.
Anytime. We'll definitely have to run it back.
Of course, we got you next week. But
It's been an honor.
guys, that's it. My boy Ethan
Thank you.
signing out. As you heard, shout out your Instagram one more time, my boy.
Ethan Lane, 83.
Oh,
That's it.
How about that?
No, that's it.
But yeah, check out his Instagram. He posts regularly about his dirt bike experiences, and I appreciate y'all watching today. We will be back on Sunday evening for our Easter special podcast. But anyways, we love you guys. Stay cool and stay empowered. Love y'all. Have a blessed day.